And as the Mark II gets serviced by the Artemis crew, ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Rain, and I welcome you to another 1-100 Universal Century Master Grade review. And today we'll be looking at the 1-100 Gundam Mark II from my favorite series, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. And here is the Gundam Mark II without any of its armaments and without its backpack. Remember that the Gundam Mark II is the first mobile suit piloted by Camille Bidan. It was stolen by him when Quattro Bagina and a group of AUG members decided to steal some prototype mobile suits that the Titans were developing on Camille's home colony. And now that you have the history lesson, let's take a look at the articulation of this 2.0 mobile suit. You have a very nice bend out of the shoulder here because you have this added mechanism that comes out of the shoulder and allows the arm to go further up. So you get a very big bend out of the arm. Nice big bend out of the elbow. You have a very large elbow joint here. 2 points of articulation allow the hand to touch the shoulder. As far as the hands go, this is before they came out with the articulated knuckles and fingers for the later 2.0s. You have the typical 3-1 and a thumb split, but you can take a knife here and split the other fingers as they are all on separate joints. You have a peg here for the weapons. You do have articulation in the hand. There he is. Very nice. As far as articulation in the head, you have forward and backwards movement like a chicken. You have some side-to-side movement. Your Gundam can actually look up, which a lot of master grades still can't do. And of course you can rotate 360, not that you would really need to. But overall, good articulation in the head. You get a pretty good kick out of the Gundam Mark II, about a 90-degree bend. The front skirt armor prohibits it from going any further. The front skirt armor can go up and down. Side skirt armor here goes up and down. And the back skirt armor is completely attached to the waist area and there's no movement whatsoever. One thing I don't like about this kit is the side-to-side movement of the legs. This kit does tend to slowly want to do the splits, although the articulation is not that good that it could actually do splits, but the legs do tend to shift apart as you're moving the kit. I just want you to take a look at the leg here, and remember what that looks like, because in a few seconds, this leg's not going to look like this. And there's the leg fully bent at the knee and ankle, and this has so many moving parts on it. I am a big supporter of moving parts, making the kit much more detailed. This kit has the most moving parts I've seen. There's moving parts here, here, in the knee, in the thigh. You have hydraulics, which are chromed out, thankfully, that you can clearly see. No big ankle armor to block them, clearly in view. Nice bend out of the knee, and for a kit that was made in 2005, the Gundam Mark II does have a lot of detail. A lot of nice big panel lines you can do. I love, love, love the detail in the head. I like how that the visor is more open. You can see more of the eyes on this Gundam than others. Nice decals here. Like I said, I decided to panel line this kit in blue, just to be different. And I think it came out relatively well. But you have a lot of options here as far as detailing this kit. You do not get a lot of transfers, or stickers for that matter. This is what I have left over for dry transfer decals. I use most of the big ones, and there are even some that aren't even shown in the manual, so you have some leftovers, which I used. I'll show that later. Have a small sticker sheet, mostly warning labels. A lot of them are all the same. Half of the sheet is made up of these here that go on these 3 rows that you put around the kits. And you have a few different ones, nothing too special, but it does bring out more detail in the kit. Now let's continue on, and as always, let's start off with the defense of the Gundam Mark II. You have its shield. One thing that people may not like about this shield is the fact that there is stickers. These yellow pieces here are a sticker. They're not bad. They're on a flat surface, so you really can't tell that they're stickers unless you really look up close, and it does bring a third color to the shield. Now, as I told earlier, you have extra dry transfer decals, and I decided to put the AUG one here. On the back of the shield you do have a lot of detail, as you can see. You can hold 2 of the rifle's ammo packs in the shield, and this shield does collapse. What you do is you push this white part out a little bit. I thought I could do it one hand. Guess not. And once you have that white part pushed in, you can slide the shield down on this track, and now you have a compacted shield. And then you push the shield back up, and then you lock it back in. Very nice. This is the connector for the shield. You have a peg which goes into the back of either forearm, as you can see. And this locks into place very well on the arm. No complaints there. My complaint is on how the shield goes onto the piece. As you see, you have this part here, and it does rotate, and that just, it does that. It pretty much slides on. It doesn't lock, it doesn't click. Nothing to let you know that it's securely in there. It does rotate the shield, but it does fall out. Now, of course, unless you're putting your Gundam upside down, that shouldn't really happen. But as you are maneuvering the arm, it does have a tendency to fall off. I don't understand why they didn't have a more secure connection. Maybe something that snapped into place or something like that. So I'm kind of disappointed with that. So that's going to be a detriment to this kit that was starting off to be almost perfect. Now, as part of the offense, you do have the backpack here. I did add some yellow here in the thrusters. Now, real quick before we go over accessories, as I said before, there is hosing on this kit. You get a line of hosing you have to cut to size. And thankfully, Bandai, on the bottom of the page where you do this, have a small ruler with indentations on where you cut it. So if you're not familiar with millimeters, Bandai helped you out. These I did have to glue into the top part. This hosing goes into a little ball joint, but it doesn't stay, especially since this is movable. It would not stay if you just put it in as it tells you. Now, as you see here, I do have the beam sabers here that do come out. Some lining there. Pretty standard beam sabers, clear pink beams. I'm not going to show them, nothing you haven't seen before. The backpack clips into the back of the Gundam with 2 hooks, and it's very secure. And here's the Gundam Mark II with its added backpack. Now I just want to point out, I did say that I painted yellow on the thrusters. Also want to point out that these parts here I did paint yellow. Not that in the anime it was yellow, but I just thought that it would match the yellow vents on the chest. And I'm correct. I do believe that it looks very nice. And for the ranged aspect of the Gundam Mark II, we have its beam rifle, which thankfully is in 2 tones, or this would be a rather bland weapon. You do have another ammo pack here. The 2 others were stored in the shield, as you saw earlier. Movable handle, movable sight here. Right now it's concealed, but it does flip up, and you have a nice green foil sticker there. And as you can see, the Gundam Mark II holds it pretty well, but we're going to go into my next complaint on this kit. The fact that either the peg or the hole in the rifle is not long enough or deep enough, because a few hits and it comes right out. And that's actually more hits than I figured it would be. This peg and this hole just, they don't go in very well together. And as you can see, when the rifle is not in use, it can be pegged into one of the side skirts, and it's a pretty decent connection, but it does get in the way a little bit of the hips moving, but it's not a big deal, and it's a very nice touch that your Gundam can hold his weaponry. Onto the bazooka in 3 different colors, or like the blaster rifle, would be very dull. Another ammo pack here, movable handle, very nice, and for some odd reason, the Gundam holds this better than the blaster rifle. And you don't want to be staring down the barrel of this bazooka, or any bazooka for that matter, but especially in the hands of this Gundam. Very impressive, and due to the posability in the arms, you can get off a lot of nice poses with it, and unlike the rifle, a few taps and the handle is still in place. All that moved was the wrist joint. So this bazooka is not falling out, which is strange. I don't know why it's able to hold it better than the rifle. And just like the Zaku 2.0, you can put the bazooka on the back of the Mark II. However, the difference between this and the Zaku is the Mark II has a part that actually clips into the bazooka and holds it much better than the Zaku ever could. And as you can see, a very nice connection. I don't know why on the Zaku they decided to change this into a little groove, but this definitely holds the bazooka much better than the Zaku, and I really enjoy the feature. I've always liked when a mobile suit can hold all of its weaponry. It just makes sense. I mean, what else would they be doing with it while they're fighting if they're not using it? For the bazooka, you do have another clip that can be stored on the side skirt. However, I have noticed that it does not hold it very well. It's very easy to come off. And the last weapon of the Mark II, the dreaded and deadly headphones. Actually, these aren't headphones. These are another set of Vulcans, I believe. You have the antenna here that comes up. Little decal there, if we can zoom in. There you go. Anaheim Electronics. We love those guys. They make a great mobile suit, don't they? And this clips onto the head very nicely. And there you go. As you see, clips onto the head. Very nice. Not going to fall off. Nice foil sticker there on the left side. And as far as armaments, the Gundam Mark II has everything that it'll need. And speaking of everything it'll need, you have this action base that comes with the Mark II. And this is more of an action base than a display stand than anything else, because the Gundam Mark II is not in the air. As you saw in the beginning of the video, you have the feet tracks here, and you have some little mechanics on a wire. This wire needs to be cut in half, so you can do this like I have here. You have some couple holes here you can put the flying mechanics, and you have this platform that raises and lowers. And if you have the Zeta Gundam 2.0 kit, as you can see, you have teeth here. These actually connect into the base for the Zeta Gundam as well. So Bandai was thinking ahead when they made this kit. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, my Gundam Mark II is rocking out to some music. And what is he listening to, you may ask? I know what he's listening to. He's listening to track number... That's right, I went there. Track number 4. She died, get over it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the final thoughts part of this review, as I go over the good and bad of the Gundam Mark II, and I'll try to be as fair as possible. As you know, Zeta Gundam is my all-time favorite Gundam series, so let's go over the bad first, like always. Some bad things on this kit, like I said earlier, you do have this wonky connection here that does tend to slide out a bit too easily, but as long as you're posing the arm okay, it won't fall off. Just don't have it in any way where the sliding mechanism is facing down, you'll be just fine. You do have parts falling off from the ammo pack on the side skirt, but you don't have to have it there anyway, so not really a big deal. The hand does not clip all the way into the rifle, at least my right hand doesn't. I haven't tried the left hand yet. You do have, I feel that you do have to glue the hosing in the back of the kit, as it does come off way too easily. And other than that, I don't believe there's any other issues with this kit. The positives far outweigh the negatives on this kit, and there's not really all that many negatives to begin with. As for positives go, this kit looks amazing. If you look at this screenshot here and the Gundam Mark II model I have here in front of me, exactly like its anime counterpart. Great detail, nice decals, good posability, lots of separation in the armor, in the legs. The legs are very complicated on this kit, but it's well worth it, trust me. The arms are very simple build, but all in all, it's a very fun build of this model. Not a lot of stickers, just have the yellow parts on the shield and your regular eye camera stickers and that. So other than that, it is a great kit, and I really, really want to get a Gundam 3.0 and sit it next to this guy, so you can really see the Gundam Mark I next to the Gundam Mark II. I really want to do that. But that's not going to be the next kit I'm building, so maybe one day I will be getting the 3.0. But final score in this kit, I'm giving about a 9.25, maybe even a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect kit. It's close. It's very close. Some minor things you have to do to it to get it there, but all in all, it's a great kit. If you love Zeta Gundam, pick it up. If you love the Gundam Mark II, get it. Looks great. Awesome kit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for watching this review. Leave some comments down at the bottom. Let me know what you think. If you like my silliness, let me know. If you didn't, well, too bad. I was trying to be funny and not be so boring. But this review's over. Until the next time, when I build, I must really want to connect those action bases.